I took all the music exams at school and had voice, cello, and piano. I had lessons through the school. He knows all this because we discussed it. He knows I can write. He knows I have a photographic memory. There is no excuse for his behavior. I watch good dramas, etc. He knows I never watched mad nonsense for 20-year-olds. So just because I went to law school does not mean I'm without talent. He ripped me about singing like Susan Boyle. I can, but I can also do the classical stuff. Just because I don't doesn't mean I can't.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that are cast. I'm just Jenny from the block.
Okay, so I recently released videos going over Fiona Harvey's Facebook account, and I continue to get comments saying that these accounts are fake. So I wanted to make another video and delve even deeper, providing more and more evidence why I truly believe these two accounts are legit. So I'm going to go through all her photos and most of her videos, and I think by the end of this, it will erase most doubt from others who were skeptical. Alright, we're going to click on photos, scroll all the way down. You can see lots and lots of pictures that she has posted. Lots of repeats for some reason. And then we're going to click on the first photo, which dates back to May 2021, as you can see. And I said that the 2021 date proves this is legit because this is 3 years before Baby Reindeer came out on Netflix. But then others are saying it doesn't actually prove that because Richard Gadd's Baby Reindeer stage play, one-man show or whatever it is, came out in 2019. But couple reasons why I think that is irrelevant. For one, the play was not seen on a very large scale, and I'm assuming that he didn't name his stalker in the play Fiona Harvey, did he? If so, then she clearly would have a lawsuit against him. But I really don't think that he'd be that dumb. Therefore, if he didn't use his stalker's real name in the one-man show, then how would someone know to make a fake Facebook account for Fiona Harvey? Not unless Richard Gadd himself created this fake Facebook account for Fiona Harvey. But knowing their history and how afraid he is of her harassing him all over again, I highly doubt he would even consider doing that. And what would his motive be? What would he accomplish? There would be nothing to gain except a huge headache from Fiona. Also, if this was a fake account, how did they get so many personal photos and videos of Fiona? And again, what would be the motive to do this 3 years ago when the general public didn't even know who she was? Anyways, let's go ahead and look through these photos. A lot of repeats. She keeps posting the same photos over and over for some reason. Ooh, that must be the photo she sent Richard when she asked him if he wanted to fix her curtains. Getting dolled up at the hair salon to go stalk Richard. Okay, see, how is this a fake account? How did someone just get her childhood photos like this? I guess that's her sister, but I don't recall her talking about a sister, so I'm not sure, but that's what it looks like. Yeah, how would someone be able to get all these old photos? And another childhood photo. And another childhood photo. Me and my doll Alice. You are so adorable. My grand back garden. My aunt made me stick my tongue out. That was actually her dolly when she was a kid. She's about 73 now. My grands, I meant to say. My aunt made me that dress when she was teacher training. So, what kind of fake account would say things like this? And a baby pic. What kind of fake account would have access to her baby pictures? Who is this cutie, do we think? Feeling joyful. We thinks this is baby Fiona. And the graduation photo. And who's this law graduate wearing a borrowed dress? And the comment she wrote says, I do my duty, by Christ I do. Stalking ain't easy. I guess whoever made this fake account went ahead and printed out a photo of her headshot when she was younger. Alright, we pass with a ball who breaks windows still looking for stalker photos. This panty ass mentally a hairdresser, London, Luke, Hamden, Amy, avoid, told me green and blue don't go. She's a nasty little customer, horrid, spoiled, plastic face. She offended customers so much she had to close. She eye were black. It seems everywhere she goes, she runs into mentally ill people. I mean, even her hairdresser. I mean, what is the luck? She does have an iPhone. Now it looks like she's sending messages to herself, like she was sending Richard.
What I have to put up with while cooking my dinner. This has gone on since 8 a.m. None of these people live in that building. Can't understand these parties have gone on for 5 weeks. My stalker, a drug dealing dog. You've come laugh, he's not your stalker, guess mine. Warren McBee, times by police.
Okay, I think a lot of these are repeats now. Like I said, I'm not sure why, but she puts a lot of the same pictures up multiple times.
Police say it's okay for this Alcy to intimidate with his dog all over Camden. I say it's not okay.
Yeah, this guy looks deranged. Look how vicious that dog is. And what kind of lunatic walks around the neighborhood holding a bag of poop like that? And that's the end. As you can see, we're back to the beginning, May 2021. So those are all of her photos. Now let's check out her videos, and you'll be able to hear that the voice is definitely her. And not just the voice alone, but the things that she says and the way that she says them. So these videos are like 20 seconds each and basically are her rambling about random topics, mostly complaining about people or politics or something. She doesn't really use a lot of profanity, but the few times that she does, I muted it out. So if you hear a gap while she's talking, that's why. And also, I am not editing between the videos. Sorry that it slows the video down, but I'm showing me clicking on each video to prove that the video is in fact from her page. Alright, so let's go ahead and check them out. If you'd like to show your appreciation for the work I do and help support the channel, there's a PayPal link on the homepage. All donations are appreciated and will go towards feeding my cats. Thanks for watching.
Fiona Harvey here. I'm going to post a series of videos to let you know exactly what Camden Council and the Labour Party and Keir Starmer and Helena Kennedy, who control that Labour Party in Camden, are like. The amount of tenants and owners of council property they've actually killed, and what life is like living in. Fiona Harvey here. I'm going to post a series of videos to let I really have to say the Labour Party in Camden are like this blank TV screen. There are no brain cells whatsoever. It's like talking to a brick wall and everyone has to sue them. I've been suing them for 8 years. I trained as a lawyer when I was 21. I'm now considerably older and I'm still suing these people. I really have to say the Labour Party in Camden are like this. Patricia Mary Callaghan, who's the acting leader of Camden Council, controls what happens with the Labour Party. She's an ex-nurse. She's a psychopath. Her nickname in Camden is Callaghan. I didn't coin that phrase, but it's a bloody good one. We're all suing her as well. She is an ignoramus. Patricia Mary Callaghan, who's the acting leader of Camden Council, you see, what we're faced with in the entire UK is we've got a First Minister in Scotland who is useless, who is incompetent, and who berates people, as does his wife. We had Sturgeon before that, who was one of the most useless lawyers I have ever seen in my life, who we finally managed to get rid of. You see, what we're faced with in the I am completely transparent and ethical. That's the way I've always run my life. And I'm going to tell everybody exactly who I'm suing. Helena Kennedy, Keir Starmer, Patricia Callaghan, the solicitor, the so-called solicitor to Camden Council, Anifalaji Taloop, who's a very, very, very corrupt Nigerian lawyer. I am completely transparent and ethical. We have a trade union official called Liz Wheatley in Camden. She works off of Camden Council premises. She's not supposed to do that. That's taxpayers' money, providing her office. She's as broad as she is long, as my mother would say. She's a complete and utter intimidator and lives in council property in Primrose Hill. We have a trade union official called Liz Wheatley in Camden. She works off of Camden Council premises. We also have the worst set of barristers' chambers in Camden, Doughty Street, in Doughty Street. Helena Kennedy, Keir Starmer, Sophia Cannon, who's been struck off, Amal Alamuddin, were all attached to that chambers. They're all completely and utterly useless. It's very, very corrupt in there. We also have the worst set of barristers' chambers in Camden. Now, Dorothy Street Chambers in London acted for Amber Heard. Amber Heard is one of the biggest liars I have ever heard. Note to the pun. I followed that trial closely. She was lying through her teeth, so was her lawyer. Jennifer Robinson or Robson or something, or Jennifer something. Jennifer is a liar. Now, Dorothy Street Chambers in London acted for Amber Heard. Amber Heard went to the most corrupt barrister she could find in London. That's Doughty Street. Jennifer, whatever her name is in Doughty Street, is actually an Australian lawyer, an Australian or New Zealand lawyer. She's not qualified at the English bar. Why was she doing that case then? Because she's in the Labour Party. Amber Heard went to the most corrupt barrister she could find in London. That's Doughty. The Labour Party in Camden and with Doughty Street Chambers brought in 3 female lawyers to intimidate Johnny Depp, to intimidate the living daylight out of him. He has loads of money and he couldn't even fight it in England because they are basically corrupt bitches. The Labour Party in Camden and with Doughty Street Chambers brought in Doughty Street Chambers in Doughty Street in Camden control the Labour Party. Helena Kennedy controls the Labour Party. So does Keir Starmer. So does Ala Muddin, although she's never in this country. And so do a number of corrupt barristers. That is the truth, and you're getting it here. Doughty Street Chambers in Doughty Street in Camden control the Labour Party. The Bar Standards Board should have shut down Doughty Street, you see, but Doughty Street keep blackmailing them and giving them backhanders so they can stay open. I don't like the corruption here, and I think it needs to be exposed, and I think Helena Kennedy needs to be exposed as a fraud with no legal qualifications. The Bar Standards Board should have shut down Doughty Street, you see, but Doughty Street keep blackmailing them. The head of Doughty Street Chambers is a rent boy. I have very incriminating photos of him with young boys. He's a closet gay. He's married to Kathy Lett, who fixed up Amal Ala Muddin, who people call Ala Puddin. She ate a Mars bar one day. The head of Doughty Street Chambers is a rent boy. Amal Ala Puddin, now Amal Clooney, was also supposed to be friendly with Meghan Markle, who's also a liar, as is Harry. They've all fallen out now. Amal Ala Puddin did something like 2 cases at the English bar. 2. Maybe as much as 6. Amal Ala Puddin, now Amal Clooney, was also supposed to be friendly with Meghan Markle. So Amal Clooney used all of George Clooney's money to get places. She hadn't practiced at the English bar apart from doing some jobbing activities for Doughty Street, the chambers that control the Labour Party. She seems to think she's God's gift to the human race. The rest of us... So Amal Clooney used all of George Clooney's money to get places. Mr. Personality Not, who currently attempts to lead the Labour Party and fails spectacularly. He is not a lawyer. He was at best a jobbing, unqualified barrister at Doughty Street. Getting back to Mr. Starmer, Mr. Personality Not. Keir Starmer is one of the Camden MPs. He owes me money. He used to be my MP, and we've all sued him before. He withholds files. He does not have a proper law degree. His degree is in jurisprudence at some Z-rate Middle English university. Keir Starmer is one of the Camden MPs. He owes me. Keir Starmer seeks to undermine me at every turn because he knows I've got a photographic memory and an incredibly high IQ, and he knows I've got the measure of him. He then went to Oxford University, and Mummy and Daddy paid for him to do a postgrad. Keir Starmer seeks to undermine me at every turn because he knows I've got a photographic memory and an incredibly high IQ, and he knows I've got the measure of him. He then went to Oxford University, and Mummy and Daddy paid for him to do a postgrad. Keir Starmer seeks Keir Starmer's wife claims to be a Jew, which is causing all sorts of friction at the moment in that party, as you can imagine. None of my Jewish friends have ever met her, and I know a substantial number of Jews. She then claimed to be a doctor, she then claimed to be a lawyer, she then claimed to be a worker for the CPS. I don't think... Keir Starmer's wife claims to be a Jew. Keir Starmer's wife was on the Piers Morgan show some time ago. At the most, she was a caseworker for the CPS. That's how she met her darling husband. Her darling husband is, to all intents and purposes, a closet gay. I have met 1,000 witnesses who have said that. Keir Starmer's wife was on the Piers Morgan show. I have met Keir Starmer, sadly, when he was my MP. He grinds his crotch against the desk. He stands up, intimidates people, and literally grinds his crotch against the desk. I felt these videos were getting a bit too serious, so I just thought I'd tell you that. That's exactly what he does. I have met Keir Starmer, sadly, when he was my MP. Mr. Starmer is the puppet poodle of Tony Blair and Cherie Booth. Both were jobbing barristers at 11 KBW. Neither have significant court experience, and Starmer does everything the Blair, who is also a closet gay, tells him to. Mr. Starmer is the puppet poodle of Tony. Keir Starmer likes to support Camden drug dealers over anybody else in Camden. He colludes with the police to protect Camden drug dealers. If anyone can tell me why he actually does that, I'd be very, very interested to hear why he's doing that. Keir Starmer likes to support Camden drug dealers. Lady Nugee is Emily Thornberry, who is also ex-Tooks Court Chambers, which is Mansfield's set of chambers, but was before all the legal aid fraud, then they got shut down. She is married to Christopher Nugee, who is some kind of a High Court judge. Emily Nugee does... Lady Nugee is Emily Thornberry. Emily Thornberry had to go into politics because she was in the process of being struck off as a jobbing barrister. 5 High Court judges in the civil courts complained about her. She was so incompetent. She was told to leave courtrooms because she couldn't string 2 words together, and she was so drunk on the gin. Emily Thornberry had to go into politics because she was in the process of being struck off as a jobbing barrister. And who told me this scandalous detail about Emily Thornberry? Lady Nugee. Well, Lady Nugee herself, when I stayed in her hovel of a house. It's filthy dirty. She was shouting and screaming at the nanny. She was drinking gin at 7 in the morning. She is a complete... And who told me this scandalous detail about Emily Thornberry? Lady Nugee. Well, And who told me this scandalous detail about Emily Thornberry? Lady Nugee. Well, told by people in the Labour Party 20 years ago when I left it. I was told by people in the Labour Party 20 years ago when I left it, I was in it for a long time, John Smith, QC MP, begged me to come in and sort it out as a person of calibre. And I was threatened that they would kill me, they would shoot me if I talked about their behaviour. I was told by people in the Labour Party 20 years ago when I left, I was told by Harriet Harman that she would hire people to break my legs. I was told by Helena Kennedy that I was a bitch and a liar. I was told by Tony Blair that he would send in the heavies to beat me up. And this is how it went on 20 odd years ago in the Labour Party, and they're 10 times worse today. I was told by Harriet Harman that she would hire people to break my legs. I was told by Helena Kennedy. Essentially, John Smith died unexpectedly. He was a nice guy. I used to work closely with John Smith. I trained at the law firm where he had left. He was on my interview panel when I was a trainee lawyer. In essence, then the Blair took over and this corruption set in. They are rent bought. Essentially, John Smith died unexpectedly. He was a nice guy. I left Scotland 18 years ago to escape from the Labour Party and their death threats. Police were informed, police took action against them. We all left the Labour Party and we're all still suing the Labour Party, loads of us. That's why Scotland ended up with Nicola. I left Scotland 18 years. I said to Nicola Sturgeon before I left Scotland, sort out the sectarian press, the Sunday Mail, sort out the sectarian Catholic intimidation in the Labour Party, sort out the Labour Party and get Scotland clean again. Did she do any of that? No. That's why she's no longer. I said to Nicola Sturgeon before I left Scotland, Well, I'm going to have to love you and leave you for a couple of hours to charge up this phone, but I'd really like to express a special thanks to my American friend, who's a very, very special person. Everybody loves her, who's given me the confidence to speak out about the intimidation and the death threats from the Labour Party spanning 20 years. Well, I'm going to have to love you and leave you for a couple of hours to charge up this phone, but I'd really like... Well, Camden Council call centres are excelling themselves in incompetence today. I've suggested to the SRA that they get rid of the so-called solicitor to the council ASAP and throw away the key. They are just so incompetent at dealing with gas repairs and emergencies. Well, Camden Council call centres are excelling them. What we've had are workmen all over my flat all week long when I should have been elsewhere trying to get the boiler working because the Nigerian solicitor to the council will not authorise a new boiler, and this was in the programme of works they had promised me. This boiler saga has been going on for 8 years. What we've had are workmen all over my flat all week long. Can I just say, I've had to block Rick. I don't want to see anything about Amy Winehouse on my timeline. She was a nasty, aggressive slut. She was a drug dealer. She was riddled with STDs when she died. I know loads of people who knew her at that time. I didn't want to know her. I don't want to see anything about that. Can I just say, I've had to block Rick. I don't want to see anything about Amy Winehouse on my timeline. She was a nasty, aggressive slut. She was a drug dealer. She was riddled with STDs when she died. I know loads of people who knew her at that time. I didn't want to know her. I don't want to see anything about that. Can I just say, I've had to block Rick. I don't want to see anything about Amy. Well, these boxes here, there are 450 of them against the Labour Party. in all of my cases against them. And yet again, we have white British people on here denying there's a problem with immigration in England and Scotland. There is a huge problem, and I will not be dictated to. Well, these boxes here, there are 450. There are people on here who are bored housewives, and they think they know more law than me. They think they know more about everything than me. They do not. And I'm not going to bother responding anymore. It's my precious time, money and energy. I will just simply block and then notify everyone I've blocked them. It's as simple as that. I don't have time to put up with it. There are people on here who are bored housewives. But what have we got today on the phones? Johnny Bucknell, rogue landlord councillor, several criminal convictions in Camden at Highbury Mags, on the phone shouting and bawling at me. Well, Johnny has to decide if he wants to be a cat in the cradle with Cunt Callahan and the rest of the Labour councillors, that's her nickname, or whether he's going to be a normal human being. But what have we got today on the phones? Johnny Bucknell. I'm just sick to death of the abuse in Camden. Everyone's very abusive. They're nutters. I actually have a special phone now, and it's got Camden written on it, so when it goes off I just ignore the calls, because they all have psychiatrists, they all have drink and drug problems. I'm not getting any sense out of anyone in Camden. I'm just sick to death of the abuse in Camden. Everyone's very abusive. I'm just sick to death of the abuse in Camden. Everyone. Johnny Bucknell was 68 or something like that. He was a Camden councillor for the Tories. He fell out and a Labour councillor tried to hit him last night. That's not my problem. I'm not his lawyer. I'm not his friend. So why, I knew him in his capacity as Camden councillor, so why is he on my phone shouting and calling me a... Johnny Bucknell was 68 or something like that. He was a Camden councillor for the... I know exactly what's happening in Camden. They're all drunk all the time. They're all on drugs. They're all having fisticuffs fight. They've all got big fines for criminal matters at Highbury Magistrates Court. They all think that they can abuse anyone. Well, they can't. And I'm here to say they can't. And the foot is going right down. I know exactly what's happening in Camden. They're all drunk all the... What seems to happen in Camden is they've all got shrinks like Amy Winehouse has. They're all essentially like her. And although they may not be physically violent as she was, they are so pejorative and so nasty. The Tories are especially like that in Camden. The lot of them. I will have no tack with that. What seems to happen in Camden is they've all got shrink. Look at this up with photos of her. Anything about her just gets blocked. Every time I look at this thing, Amy Winehouse is coming up on my timeline. I know far too much about that criminal and her dirty deeds. Any site that comes up with photos of her, anything about her just gets blocked. It's a straightforward block. I know far too much about that bag of bones. Every time I look at this thing, Amy Winehouse is coming up on... Well, this morning I got a lovely Christmas card from my mother from Scotland. She knows how ineffective the postmen are. That's not videoed, but for some reason I'm on Hamza Yusuf's mailing list. But you see, the writing here is like that of a 5-year-old child. Not joined up writing, not joined up think. Well, this morning I got a lovely Christmas card from my mother from Scotland. She knows... Just why I am on his mailing list, I have no idea. I'm not a member of any political party, but note the writing. The reason for posting this is a 5-year-old child could have written that better. No joined up thinking up there. I think the Scottish Parliament needs to go. I think the quality of politician up there is atrocious. Just why I am on his mailing list, I have no idea. The other side of his card is his bloody grey ugly mug. I'm trying to be kind, but when I think the whole Scottish Parliament needs to be abolished because of the category of imbecile we have in there, I'm kind of struggling to be nice. That's been torn off, but I'll keep this just to show you how appalling it is in Scotland. The other side of his card is his bloody grey ugly mug. I'm trying to... We're not sadly dealing with the great and the good in the Scottish Parliament. We're dealing with failed, corrupt lawyers who had affairs with Jeremy Corbyn, like Katie Clark. We're dealing about wife beaters like Alec Rowley. We are dealing with people who really failed their degrees at university, haven't ever had a job, and are making Scotland look ridiculous. We're not sadly dealing with the great and the good in the Scottish Parliament. We're dealing with failed, corrupt lawyers who had affairs with Jeremy Corbyn, like Katie Clark. We're dealing about wife beaters like Alec Rowley. We are dealing with people who really failed their degrees at university, haven't ever had a job, and are making Scotland look ridiculous. We're not sadly dealing with the great and the good in the Scottish... If I were Prime Minister right now, I'd set about abolishing the Scottish Parliament. The Scottish people don't want it. It's full of Glasgow ruffians from Glasgow Uni who failed their degree. This is a Glasgow nutters thing. I would set about abolishing it, and I would do it pretty damn quick. That's what I would do. If I were Prime Minister right now, I'd... Meanwhile, I got this rather nice hedgehog Christmas card from my mother today, posted 2 days ago from Scotland. She knows the Camden postmen are useless and lose everything, so she's getting everything out to London earlier. What a lovely card. Thank you, Mummy. I love hedgehogs. Meanwhile, I got this rather nice hedgehog Christmas card. Let's have another little slag of Baroness Boco, aka the Catholic Baroness Helena Kennedy, who's not got a legal qualification to her name, who does nothing but harass people in Camden, along with her wee friend Gould. You know, it's a guy on here from Glasgow, Scotland Unplugged. He can't be bothered with me because I hate Glasgow. I hate it, and I hate him. Let's have another little slag of Baroness Boco, aka... imbecile. This little imbecile on Glasgow and Scotland Unplugged is Glasgow all over the back. A stupid wee asshole. I reposted stuff like this to give him an audience. What do I get? A smack in the teeth. A smack in the teeth. Typical Glasgow. I hate the place. They should shut it down. Imbecile. This little imbecile on Glasgow and Scotland Unplugged. Glasgow's full of criminals. It's all full of people like Helena Kennedy and corrupt politicians like Pad McFadden. She needs someone to go into the House of Lords and say, right, you wee Glasgow Boko, shut your bloody face, because we're all fed up listening to it. Nobody in Scotland actually speaks like that, because they're not complete criminals. Glasgow's full of criminals. Really, I'm lying on my bed relaxing after having 10 hours sleep all week with the drug dealers upstairs. There's no like a Scottish like Helena Kennedy and people from Glasgow. I wish they'd abolish that town. I loathe it. I have no connection with the place. I lived there for a while. I absolutely love it. Really, I'm lying on my bed relaxing after having 10 hours. And Scotland's such a good place. Why is anyone with any merit in England, America or elsewhere? Mainly in America. Because we all wanted the hell out. That's why. So they can have it to the foreigners and the Pakistanis and the idiots, because I don't want to be there. End of. And Scotland's such a good place. Why? Well, I've picked up the TV Times, not the TV Times, the TV whatever it is, for not next week, but the week after. Why are Sainsbury's doing that, putting that right to the top? This is still a work in progress, so I've no idea what's on TV tonight. I thought it was going to be the Rocky Horror. Well, This is an Argos special, not finished yet at all. It's a big 6-footer. Very good price, Base not working very well. Staff wouldn't do any serving, but I think I've done not too badly today, considering it's the street from hell in Camden. This is an Argos special, not finished yet.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that are cast. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I cast. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that I got. I'm just Jenny from the block.
Now, I didn't picture Fiona Harvey as a big J-Lo fan, but makes sense, I guess, both being hot 50-year-olds.
Look, I'm being an influencer today, and that's amazeballs, that's Febreze. That makes your whole house smell nice for about 4 hours. Whether you've got cats, dogs, whatever you've got, this is really nice. I have it every year. That's my influencing post for today. Look, I'm being an influencer today, and that's amazeballs.
If you'd like to show your appreciation for the work I do and help support the channel, there's a PayPal link on the homepage. My cats appreciate it. Thanks for watching.
I am beyond tired with Camdeniston Council. I have been sending them email after email. They make out they're not getting it. They are getting it. They've put a block on people's emails who are suing Camden Council and Keir Starmer. They are the biggest imbeciles I've ever met in my life. I am beyond tired with Camdeniston Council. Well, why are you getting a photo of this TV? Because I've been trying to watch it, but I can't because I keep being pestered by calls about the Labour Party, about jobs worse in the NHS that don't do their job. I hate the private sector. I want the whole bloody thing abolished. But I am being plagued by all of these calls. The MP... Well, why are you getting a photo of this TV? Because I've been trying to watch it, but I can't because I keep being pestered by calls. Don't do their job. The bottom line here in England is I don't think anyone can do their job. Not one person. Because everything I ask anyone to do, it comes back with 80 emails of things they've not done. I don't see how any competent Scottish professional can actually cope with the way the English are. I don't think anyone can do their job. The bottom line here in England is I don't think anyone can do their job. Doesn't matter who you ask in London. It really, frankly, it's not just Camden, but Camden's the worst. They can't do their bloody job. They don't have a brain. I'm not doing it. If it was up to me, I'd go on strike right now, and I would not come back to London for 6 months, and I would chase all the people that own. Doesn't matter who you ask in London. It really, frankly, it's not just Camden, but Camden's the worst. Boris Johnson's an absolute disgrace. Why could he not even have had a haircut for the inquiry? Because he's an arrogant English Etonian wank. That's why. He wants to draw attention to himself. He's an Eton wanker. That is it. Telling lies every time his lips move. Boris Johnson's an absolute disgrace. Why could he not even have...
Pandemic.
You can't come back years later and apologise for the pain and suffering. He's a lying wanker. He can't even be bothered to get a haircut. He doesn't know what he's doing. And of course the family are from Camden, and everyone that I've ever met in Camden is completely and utterly bonkers. He doesn't have a brain cell in his head.
Pandemic.
You can't come back years later and apologise for the pain and suffering.
Treaty that the UK has signed.
All public bodies to be covered by a Hillsborough law and be transparent. Well, that'll be the day in England, because people like me sue public bodies every day of the week. They all lie like complete and utter CUNCs. We all hate them. The public service needs to go. I have never seen anything like the chaos I'm seeing in England.
Treaty that the UK has signed.
All public bodies to be covered by a Hillsborough law and be transparent. Well, that'll be the day. See, in Scotland, we're very, very honest. If we don't like people, we'll just tell them to F off, and we don't like them. Down here, it's this continued backbiting with Labour, Tory, Lib Dem councillors and the 2 MPs fighting like hell in Camden, so nothing gets done. Then all these employees on Camden Council are fighting with each other. None of us can get a thing. See, in Scotland, we're very, very honest. If we don't like people, we'll just tell them to F off, and we don't. I'm about to go out, but this is histrionic as hell. This has been on Sky TV all day. He was a drunk. He couldn't sing. He had no teeth. This is all things like packets of tea that this crazy woman is giving the priest. This is absolutely history. I'm about to go out, but this is histrionic as hell. This has been on Sky for hours because I'm just got out. I've been doing paperwork suing Camden Council all day and other things. It's Irish hysteria at his worst. They're all nuts over there. If he was such good friends with Johnny Depp, why is Johnny Depp not at the Irish wake? Why is Johnny Depp not there, eh? This has been on Sky for hours because I'm just got out. I've been doing paperwork suing. For a start, I don't approve of Irish Catholicism, but this is beyond the pale, having this on TV all day on Sky. He was a drunken bum. From the minute he came out the womb to the minute he died, I find this absolutely incredible that this is actually even being covered. For a start, I don't approve of Irish Catholicism. I tell a lie, Johnny Depp is there. He's a main pallbearer, which is why the press have turned out en masse. This is how mad the Irish are. I've got no time for them ever, and there's far too many of them employed by Camden Council, and I've been suing them all week. So that's why the press have turned out, because Johnny Depp is there. I tell a lie, Johnny Depp is there. He's a main All I can say is Johnny Depp is obviously very hard up for friends if he's got to be friendly with a toothless, alky, Irish, crazy, like the one that's just died. 3 hours for a funeral. The Irish are histrionic as fuck. I cannot believe that. Unbelievable. All I can say is Johnny Depp is obviously very hard up. I cannot find my Christmas baubles. And there's far too much tinsel on this tree because there have been so many rows in recent days about suing Camden Council. They are for the high jump in the coats as far as I'm concerned, but these are absolutely lovely. I got these in a charity shop today. I love these baubles. I cannot find my Christmas baubles, and there's far too much tinsel on this tree because there have been so many rows in recent days. I really do like the yellow one. I will not be having a star on this tree because I'm not religious, and I'm disgusted at the Labour Party religious zealots and the way they all fight in Camden. I've got 150 actions against Camden Council now in the High Court, personal actions. I really do like the yellow one. I will not be having a star on this tree because I'm not religious. This is from Sainsbury's, £10 reduced to £7. I thought it was quite pretty. I like berries. And incidentally, those staff in Kilburn High Road have been very, very, very good to me for years. So I have basically said to the manager to give them extra Nectar card bonus payments today. This is from Sainsbury's, £10 reduced to £7. I thought it was quite pretty. I like berries. And incidentally, and the reason we're all going on about Derek Draper is Derek Draper was a rent boy. He was Peter Mandelson's lover. He's as gay as get out. So why, in God's name, he thought he could marry Kate Garraway and become a saint, I've no idea. We're all waiting for him to die. And I think we've waited very patiently. And the reason we're all going on about Derek Draper is Derek... Anytime Keir Starmer wants to apologise to me for the harassment from him and his cohorts in Camden, fine, but I'll still kick him in the teeth in the courts. This is going to court in various different actions, if only for the harassment today, but it's actually gone on for 12 years, so absolutely fuck him. I'll see him in... Anytime Keir Starmer wants to apologise to me for the harassment from... It's my opinion Zuckerberg needs a brain transplant because he doesn't have one. Now there's Nick Clegg, and frankly I think they should shut Facebook down. If they're going to stop people issuing legal threats who are cause of litigation against men who harass women on here, they are both even madder than I... It's my opinion Zuckerberg needs a brain transplant. There's an English guy on here who's been threatening women on here all day. A threat to sue is not a physical threat, it's a legitimate course of action. I think Zuckerberg should really get his head around that because it's not for the first time that Zuckerberg has been sued. I think the way women are treated on this platform is... There's an English guy on here who's been threatening women on here all day. A threat to sue is not a physical threat, it's a legitimate course of action. I think Zuckerberg should really get his head around that because... Trying to get out of England is a total shambles. Sassenach land is a total shambles. You've got to sue everyone to get answers. They don't run their country is unbelievable. I wasn't aware this was happening because I've been too busy suing people today. Trying to get out of England is a total shambles. Sassenach land is a total shambles. You've got to sue everyone to get answers.
Kind of solution to it. The latest stumbling block is over the question.
This England is a shambles. Now they're backtracking on the immigration speak, so once the immigrants out, so that we can get doctors' appointments, banks, shopping done. They want them out. So they're going to have to get them out.
Kind of solution to it. The latest stumbling block is over the question.
This England. What's going to happen here is all the high earners will leave Scotland again. The rest of us left about 20 years ago. Scotland's only good if you want to be a two-bit nurse. England is a shambles. Then all of us will go off to America. It's as simple as that. And hopefully Trump will win again.
the south by the Egyptian.
What's going to happen here is all the high earners will leave Scotland again. The rest of
Brought me to tears.
this is very, very good. It's the Jeff Beck story. It's Slash, Jimmy Page, Eric Clapton, Dave Gilmore, all paying tribute to him. It's very, very good because all English TV is crap. This is Sky Arts. Which is why it's good. Very, very good. Not much pleases me in Englanistan.
Brought me to tears.
This is very, very good. It's the Jeff Beck story. It's Slash, Jimmy. Here we go on the journal. Steve Adams, who I know, he's a Tory, going on and on about a failure of mismanagement. This is page 12, the latest page. He's a former Tory councillor going on and on about the mismanagement by Pat Callaghan, Keir Starmer and other councillors. This hasn't come out. Here we go on the journal. Steve Adams, who I know, he's a Tory. I'm trying to video this so you can see the kind of letter that's going in about the Labour Party. People who've sat through meetings and meetings and meetings. And this Julian Philbrook is a failed law lecturer. He's utterly insufferable. Utterly insufferable. That's a bit. I'm trying to video this so you can see the kind of letter. My God, it's hell out there, total hell. Camden is the worst borough for foreigners. They are shocking, they're in the shops clogging it up, they're working in the shops, everybody's walking out. Every British person is walking out because staff working in shops, etc. are so bloody rude to them. That's the fact. My God, it's hell out there, total hell. Camden is... Let me tell you this, these are but the only good roses in Marks and Spencer's. The foreigners are clogging up everything, taxi rank shops. None of them speak English. No one who is normal and British can get anything done. And no one, not even me. Let me tell you this, these are but the only good... It's things like taxis in London. There's no such thing as a taxi rank. You can't get one. If you've not got the Uber app, which I don't, you'll not get one, but they're all mad rapists. If you want a black cab, you need the black cab app. Well, I don't have it. So you're stuck with some foreign bozo who doesn't know where he's going, and a journey will cost you £1,000 million. That's just... It's things like taxis in London. There's no such thing as a taxi rank. This is about the 10th year this has been on, but it is very good. It's foreigners holding up every single queue in Camden. It's really bad. British people who've lived here for years can't get in to do their Christmas dinner. It's shocking. The cheek of them is shocking. Sunak's not going far enough, which everybody knows. They need to start deporting a lot of people. They have ruined London. It's foreigners holding up every single queue in Camden. It's really bad. British people who've lived here for years can't get in to do their Christmas. Welcoming in the bells in my nightie. I just hate Hogmanay in London. I'd rather be in Scotland. But Jules is not too bad. Some of his guests aren't too bad. I just hate that thing by the river. I can't be bothered with it. I Khan's big face up in a firework. It's always the same. It's crap. Welcoming in bells in my nightie. I've never heard such a bad rendition of Auld Lang Syne there. I don't know where the hell the mayor got that from, but it was absolutely bloody shocking. And as usual, no coverage of Hogmanay at Scotland. Typical. Typical. I've never heard such a bad rendition of Old Lang Syne there. I don't know where the hell the mayor got. This is much better. This is Edinburgh. Much, much better. So this is Edinburgh. Much.
50,000 people here in the centre of Edinburgh. Crowds as far as the eye can see. We have a dancing security guard as well, enjoying his moment in the spotlight here. The real star of the show. Yes, we have. He's been in 50,000 people here in the centre of Edinburgh. Crowds as far as the eye can see.
This is a silly thing on New Year's Day. They should have it another day because everybody's either got a hangover like bang or they're trying to have a rest. It seems to be all sorts of nationalities in different groups marching. The mayor's New Year's Day, the Lord Mayor, not the Mayor of London, the Lord Mayor, different person. This is a silly thing on New.
That no mediation scheme has the power to.
Your lawyers were liars. And some of the lawyers acting for the accused people were not very good. That's why this has dragged on over 25 years. Bates against the post office. Shocking the way people were treated here. Absolutely shocking.
That no mediation scheme has the power to.
Your lawyer.
That is. I need to be able to say
This is when they call in the lawyers after people tried to kill themselves in psychiatric hospitals, threw themselves under lorries, etc. It goes on and on and on, and it's not the only institution in England that abuses power like this. They all do. England is pathetic the way it runs itself.
That is. I need to be able to say.
This is when they call in the lawyer. Well, they can't seem to cope with flooding at all in the UK anywhere. Scotland's always really bad. Nobody can do anything, it would appear to be, in the UK. And I'm sure that councillor doesn't have a bloody clue what he's doing either. Well,
on the channel already. First thing this morning, we had cancellations going out from DFDN, New Haven to Dieppe this evening, and also Dover to Calais. And that, I think, will increase. It's quite possible that Irish ferries and P&O ferries will do the same. I mean, they have been saying that just turn up and we'll get you on the first available ferry. And on the channel already, first thing this morning.
can I just say, I've never seen a town depreciate so quickly, so badly. Everyone's behaving like animals. The English are animals. The way they talk to the Scots, they're unbelievable. I've been in other bits of Camden today. I can't believe what I'm saying. They really do have a non-country. They're off. Can I just say, I've never seen a town depreciate so quickly. This guy's got balls, Richard Tice. He's incredibly nice, he's incredibly good looking, he's incredibly charming, and he is the future. Look at that saggy faced cow, Liz Kendall, and the tone, who's not much better. You probably can't see that screen because there's so much sun shining in my window. This guy's got balls. The Blyer will be furious. George has obviously won this. The Blyer was very cruel to him and Canavan and a lot of Scottish candidates. The rest of the candidates were a freak show. It was just, that just looks like a nightmare up there. The Blyer will be The first words he said were Keir Starmer. He's mentioned it twice. Oh, he'll loathe Keir Starmer as much as we all do in Camden. Good on him. At least we've got a good Scot in Parliament who can speak some sense for a change, which we really haven't had for a while. The first words he said were Keir Starmer. He's mentioned it twice.
Alright, so that was the end. That was the last video posted on her Facebook account. As you can see, the date was February 29th of this year, 2024. That was the last video she posted on this account. I zoomed in on some of the dates because I thought those dates could be relevant for some reason at helping decipher the legitimacy of this account. I know a lot of these videos felt pointless, but the reason I included all of them that I did was to help establish and confirm the interest that Fiona has. I honestly believe this is her legit Facebook account, and I think most who watch this video will lean towards believing that as well. If this is a fake account, it's the best fake account I've ever seen. And I just would not understand why someone would go to these links to create a fake account all the way back in 2021, 3 years before Baby Reindeer came out on Netflix. Yes, I know, the one-man show, Stage Play, came out in 2019. But do we really think someone would create a fake account in so much detail like this for someone that a local play was about? I mean, I guess someone who knew Richard Gadd may create that fake account as a joke to him, but if that was the case, they'd probably only post a couple photos and videos, not this much. Like, where would they have gotten all those old photos of her? The graduation photos, the childhood photos, and even a baby picture. And then all of these videos with her incessant grumbling. So I firmly believe this is her real account. And I made this video as a follow-up after a 2-part video I just recently uploaded that highlights all of her crazy Facebook posts on this account. So now we have the excessive posting, the photos, and videos all from this account. Now, I am well aware that there are a slew of fake accounts out there for her, but they're easy to identify as fake. Accounts created after Baby Reindeer premiered on Netflix. On to those jokes that aren't even funny. I've seen a couple of these fake accounts and they were really bad. But this account here comes across completely authentic to me. If you have not yet seen the previous videos where I scrolled through all of her Facebook posts, you should definitely check it out. I'll leave a link on the outro. So that's about it for this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, and God bless.
Don't be fooled by the rocks that are cut. I'm just Jenny from the block. Have a lot. Don't be fooled by the rocks that are cut. I'm just Jenny from the block. Do 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 do.